Hi everybody, my name is Albert Pereira and this is Experts Elevated. Today we're going to talk about team leaders. Experts Elevated helps real estate agents elevate their real estate business and create a future of multiple streams of income and abundance in their lives long after they are actively selling real estate. This is my partner, Eric Patato.
Hi there and welcome. Albert and I have been at this for 53 years combined now, just a bit more. We've had a really unique experience and one that's very relevant to what we're going to be talking about today in the industry, both of us respectively and individually within our business. Both Albert and I have owned brokerages. Both Albert and I have been top producers as standalone agents, and we've been team leaders and had top producing teams selling hundreds of homes a year. So we know a little bit about what we're talking about, and we're here to share it with you. And we actually used to compete against one another, and now we're working together to add value to agents like you. And it's absolutely free, Albert. How did we manage that?
We managed it because we joined eXp Realty and realized that the brokerage paradigm is changing. Now, to add a little bit to what Eric's saying or said about our past, I am still a licensed broker, and I was very fortunate that at the age of 41, I was able to retire because I, over the years of being in real estate, turned my commission income into down payments and bought rental real estate. And like Monopoly, I started with, townhouses and half duplexes, then full duplexes and fourplexes, sixplexes, and now I own apartment buildings. And that income stream is still very predictable and growing every year, and my family and I still enjoy that. Now, part of what we do with Experts Elevated is we help you take your income, develop more income for you, and change those commissions into down payments and create rental real estate to create future rental income streams for you. Now, you may not want to be a landlord, and I understand that, which is weird to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense to me because I don't want to be a landlord.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter, because having the knowledge that Albert can share with you will make you 10 times more valuable to your investor clients. And your investor clients need to make up a certain percentage of your database, okay? Why? Because in your lifetime as a realtor, your career, that investor client, if they stay with you, if they determine based on you that you are invaluable to them, they will never consider buying a property from anyone else.
That's
okay?
right.
So the churn and burn mentality's got to go, and we want to turn one-time clients into lifetime clients, and that's what I specialize in doing. That's what I help people with. So we kind of got both ends covered, right?
We do. We have very different sort of backgrounds and different approaches we took to being successful in the real estate industry. And at the same time, Eric is right, because investors are worth so many deals,
right,
both listings and sales, if they feel that you're invaluable and that you know exactly what it is you're talking about,
so what I
and
wanted
how to add value.
Yeah, I never finished my thought, and my thought is that you don't have to do what Albert did, okay, and become the Grant Cardone in your marketplace. Is it okay that I called it? Grant Cardone joined, or he's now
with eXp in terms of partner, education partner.
Yeah, education partner. So, but we could, you can take Albert's experience and become a finely tuned investor agent for your client.
In addition to all the massive business that you're doing as a team leader.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to get too granular with you because we know you're successful already in your own right in your market. But we know all the unique challenges that you face as a team leader, and I'm just going to touch on them a little bit here right now because we know you're busy.
How do we know this?
We know this from being team leaders.
Exactly.
Right? And you probably lack leadership and you have weak management skills. Now, you may think you're a pro at this, but we all know we could use some improvement. There is no sustained growth. You have a resistance to scale up to new levels. And there comes a time when you're with a team that you either stay below one level that you're comfortable with, or you level up. And a lot of realtors have difficulty with that, team leaders. Some of it is ego-based, the rest is just fear. Because if they don't get to that certain profitable level, it makes no sense.
Right.
Okay.
And it's hard to be profitable as a team as it is.
Yes, it is.
Right.
And you are allocating people to the wrong project, and their jobs are not focused on dollar productive activities in your team. You need better control over the bottom line. Okay. Now, we know you're a team leader, and I respect that. Eric respects that. But like other team leaders, you're also like a fly, the house fly, trying to get out of the house and beating your head against the glass of this ideal world you want to get to, and you're copying other team leaders, okay? And many of them are the corpses at the bottom of the windowsill where they were generating massive GCI, gross commission income, but there wasn't anything coming to the bottom line, and at the end, you're seeing an exit strategy where they don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you have an exit strategy that is abundant with multiple streams of predictable income long after you're actively selling real estate. Okay?
Yeah, because there's limitations to, not to your growth, but to your income.
Profits. The profits overall.
The limitation are on the profits,
Yes.
right? Because when we had our team and we were selling 300 homes a year, I was networking with other teams throughout North America through a training program, and I was a small fry. Okay, some of these guys were selling 6, 7. They had teams that were doing 600, 700 homes a year, but it didn't matter because even when we put our heads together, we could not figure out a way to increase our net income beyond 21, 22%. Okay, we just couldn't get over that number. So here you are doing millions of dollars in gross commission income, but when you boil it down, you're coming away with $250,000, 300,000. Now, of course, you can kind of hide your lifestyle in that income. Okay, that's not lost on us. We know how that works. Okay, everything's an expense and do this and do that. But what you keep is still important.
Indeed,
right?
But you're doing massive volume.
You're doing a massive
You're
volume.
doing massive volume and taking on tremendous risk.
Of course.
Okay.
And I remember my wife used to run the back end of our team, and she used to say to me, Eric, we got to stop spending so much money. Right? We got to stop. Like we're advertising like crazy. We're doing, and me, like the typical team leader, was like, no, we can't. Why? Because I was fearful that if we did, our leads would stop, our production would lower, and so this is where's the ego? Oh, that was in the other.
That was the other one.
So I was driven by fear, which was a little bit kind of wrapped up in ego, where my focus was on the number of transactions versus the bottom line.
Exactly. And that's a trap that all of us fall into when we're team leaders, is you're a big wheel, you're doing big production, and you're a bit of a celebrity in your city or town.
Yeah.
And other agents look up to you. But when you look at the net numbers, it's not that impressive, and you're taking on massive legal and regulatory risk.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
And that agent that's selling 65, 70, 80 homes a year by themselves with maybe one buyer agent is netting more than you are.
And that's not always the case, but it's
Often.
fairly true.
Fairly true.
And this is true in a lot of markets, okay? Now, you are running yourself ragged with your clients. You're building a business you cannot sell, okay? When I sold my business, in the end, there was nothing to sell. In fact, I made more money on the building that I owned than I ever did on the business, okay? Your expense ratios are too high. You have no exit strategy, you have no future income, and no multiple streams of income. Now, as a team leader, you bring on assistants, licensed assistants. You take the time to mentor and train them. Now, if they're within EXP, then you will be continuing to be benefiting from their commissions.
When they leave.
When they leave.
Is the point you're trying to make. Because
yeah.
people leaving your team is a real issue when you're a team leader.
Exactly. And the thing is as a team leader and the general in the field, there's always this fear that your soldiers are going to lay their swords on the ground and walk the other way. Okay? Because no assistant stays with you forever.
No,
if they're any good, they go off on their own.
It's a circle of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they go off on their own and they still see the value in EXP, and why shouldn't they?
Well, once you're there, you don't leave.
You still benefit.
Crazy not to.
You still benefit from their income as well as anybody they recruit.
Yeah.
So to be a team leader outside of EXP, to put the time into mentoring and training your assistants who will eventually leave you and not be paid for that, perhaps for many, many years, it's just dumb.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any
It's a bad
sense.
plan. And, you know, prior to EXP, there was no alternative. You know, you kind of grin and bear
You
it.
had to just suffer.
That's what it was.
You just had to suffer.
Now with EXP, it's almost like, you know, what you can do. If I was to create a team now, Albert, within EXP, I would run it like an apprenticeship program where I would want people to move on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to train you up. You're going to become an awesome agent, and you might even want to build your own team. Awesome. Let's go.
And they're
do it.
going to attract
Yes.
other agents. Exactly.
Let's just and then keep bringing newer agents or younger agents through, and just keep pushing it out.
And that brings us to your team, you know, the agent loyalty, the evolution of them as agents, and the entitlement that some agents feel within a team.
Oh,
They feel like
huge
they're
problem.
entitled,
Huge problem.
you know, and that you're not paying enough and all this stuff, and they don't realize the model is not all that profitable, okay, and that it only works at a certain level, okay. So those people are going to move on, and some of your agents, they're just there for the leads you're going to provide. They're not working the milk. They want the cream only, okay. They don't want to work the milk. We get that. We already talked about the fear of your soldiers, you know, laying down their swords and walking away. And you've done all this work, you're doing massive GCI, your net is not as much as you'd hoped, and you have no exit strategy. So,
Not a great place to be.
no, Experts Elevated, we cover all of these things because we've been there, we've done that, okay? So if we're gonna help you with these specific challenges or challenges that you face that we're not aware of, go to expertselevated.com, book a Zoom call with us.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's see what solutions we can come up with that will solve your particular challenges so that we can partner together for growth that is linear, okay? We succeed because you succeed, and anybody below you will succeed because they're succeeding, okay? Everybody wins because it's collaborative.
Yeah.
Whereas in the old brokerage model, it was all where you're competing with each other, okay? It's a completely new paradigm. You need to you know, click that link and make that appointment. That's the only way we can help you.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's time to think about you and your future, really. Okay? When I hear the word loyalty, I just shake my head. So don't use the word loyalty if you can't first be loyal to yourself and what's in your best interest.
And your family's best interest.
Well, there's a reason why when you're on an airplane, none of us have been on a plane in a year and a half, but you know, when you do travel, they tell you when the mask comes down, the parent is supposed to put the mask on first. Why? Because then you could care for somebody else, okay? Because if you try to put it on your kid and something happens to you, you're not of any use to them anymore. So the same thing is with loyalty. If you first need to be loyal to yourself before you can be loyal to others, okay? So think about that, and think about the fact that our business, our industry is changing very, very rapidly, okay? EXP is the fastest growing company in the world. In the time, it'll be 2 years in a week that I joined EXP. When I joined EXP, it was in the United States and 3 provinces in Canada. Today, 2 years later, it's on 5 continents in 12 countries and has a capitalization rate on the NASDAQ of $9 billion. I mean, this company is here to stay, and any other company moving forward that enters our industry is going to be a cloud-based brokerage. Okay, the traditional model is dead and gone. They're on oxygen right now. Okay, so if that's where you're at right now, then you need to start thinking about yourself and your future and where you want to grow, because we're looking to lock arms with people who want to grow.
That's right. And we don't care what you've heard, all of the, you know, innuendo about EXP, that it's an MLM scam and that it's all about just recruiting and all that stuff. You don't have to recruit at all.
No.
We just want you to be successful.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with recruiting. In you know, Experts Elevated, we would love if you do recruit, but it's not part of the overall success of this partnership.
No.
If you succeed, your team succeeds, and you do well, we all do well.
Yeah.
So anything around the whole multi-level marketing scam, pyramid scam, all this stuff,
Nonsense.
it's all complete nonsense, okay? I think a lot of brokerages or brokers are fearful of the change that EXP represents, and of course
Well,
they should
because
be.
yeah, they should, because they're handcuffed. They can't do anything about it.
That's right.
They're defenseless against what EXP is.
They're defenseless against cloud brokerages
Yeah.
because the you just can't beat the cost
Right.
of being with a cloud brokerage. I mean, they are stuck. You know, they are stuck in leases. They're stuck in salaries. Stuck in contract agreements, equipment agreements. All these different things, right? They are obligated to. And with cloud brokerage, it's the future. It's the Amazon of real estate. So please don't listen to that rubbish. Reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. We do respect the fact that you're running a team and that you're doing high production, but we also know that you could do with some improvement. So we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah. Take care. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to speaking with you.